Hello, wonderful viewers. Thank you so much for joining me. This reading is a little different because I want to see the nature of your 2020. Now, the magic comes in with your own intuition because your intuition chooses one of these stones. Each has 7 cards so that I can do a Celtic Cross. So we'll sort of get the nature of your 2020 that way. And I think this will be very interesting. So with your intuition, what stone does your intuition pick? What's your gut instinct about that? All right, and I will begin the readings. In the description box, I'll put the timestamps so you can locate your pile easily. And for those of you who chose this lovely green stone, aventurine, we have, all right, okay, well, let's see. This is what we'll do. Heart of the matter. 5 of rods, okay? And the challenge card then is the 2 of coins. All right, so the 5 of rods. Now that can be about conflict, external or internal. It's not terrible conflict. These people don't have swords. They're not, out to get each other. In fact, they're trying to do something together. Those are pages in a training exercise to sharpen their skills to become knights. That's what those are. But they're just begun. So you may have some people in your home environment or other larger environment where it's sometimes a little dicey interacting with them. There can be disagreement, there can be some conflict, but it's only because you all are trying to accomplish something together. You're trying to build something or do something, or you must, you must work together. But in any case, it's okay. It's okay to have conflict. It's okay to have disagreement. And sometimes you just need to work it out. And that is also good for sharpening some people's skills, right? In dealing with conflict, in speaking, in, just weathering that. It looks to me like the challenge is that you're really kind of busy. You're effectively doing it, that's for sure. You're the nimble juggler with that 2 of coins. You're juggling your sources of security, which are health, wealth, or relationships, sources of security in general. You're juggling them and you're keeping them up in the air. So you're doing that very effectively, especially if there are 2 main ones. Sometimes it's work and home. Sometimes it's health and work. There may be 2 main ones, but this, the idea is you're doing the nimble juggling. You're doing it effectively. It's all right. I'm wondering if this is saying that sometimes it's made a little more difficult because there's disagreement around you, or there's disagreement between you and other people, or simply that there may be people around you who get into conflict and that makes it more stressful. In any case, you are certainly able to do it. You are the nimble juggler. Even if there's turbulence in the background, you're fine. You are fine. You focus on what you need to do and you get it done. So that looks like this year is one where you will be very competent. Sometimes you may feel busy. You may feel busy, but you'll be very competent. Once in a while, the 5 of rods is internal conflict. And that is, you have internal conflict over some situation in your life and are not yet able to gain clarity about it. But you know what? None of it disrupts what you're doing. You are very effective. It is just fine. I feel like for some of you, this is young people in your life and you know how they argue. You're just fine. Underneath it all, we have the 4 of swords. So all the 4 of swords is a caution, usually, to rest. It's usually a reminder that we are human and sometimes we do need to retreat from it all and rest. Otherwise, we could get sick. It's like that. It's like, please rest and take care of yourself. That's why. That's part of the reason you're able to do this nimble juggling. is you do rest. You're able to. And it may be on your mind. This is subconscious. So it may be this is on your mind. This, oh, I need to take care of myself. So I think that card comes up when we're encouraged to do just that. And if you are experiencing any illness, well, I think that this card is telling me it's okay. You're keeping your health. You're managing it all. It's all right. Don't worry too much about it. But definitely get the rest you need. Sometimes rest is physical rest. And sometimes, given that these are swords, and swords are thoughts and plans and beliefs a lot of times, sometimes it's just putting those on the wall, putting one beside you, and you're not thinking for a while. So sometimes rest is physical rest, and sometimes rest is resting your brain. Going out and doing something instead of thinking. Being physically active instead of thinking. Being social instead of thinking. Getting going. And moving your thoughts off of you're very busy kind of I'm managing everything. I have to manage everything. You can't always have your head in this. You've got to sometimes take a break from it. And I feel like that's what the Four of Swords is saying. In the past, we have the Nine of Cups, okay? You know what that's telling me? You've gotten your wish. Okay, so what that's telling me is, all right, so sometimes this doesn't seem all that easy. However, the things that you juggle are all things you've wished for. Sometimes we have too many blessings in our lives. Sometimes we're good at manifesting, the earth signs manifest. Sometimes we're good at that. But then we have all this to maintain, right? So that's just a little message. Okay, but a lot of these are the result of what you want and of what you wanted. So please keep that in mind, and please ask yourself, is this still what I want? And if it is, then you can handle some juggling. It's all right, But yeah, that's the role our want brings in, because Spirit really does try to get us what we want. Above it all, oh, I love it, I love it. The Nine of Coins. Okay. So the Nine of Coins is about enjoying the luxuries, enjoying what you have. It's very important to do. It's really, really important to do. Enjoying what you've built. Enjoying the simple pleasures. Like this woman, she's just outside in her vineyard, and she is enjoying that day. It is good to take time to do that. So here you have, in the middle, you have all that you do and all that calls your attention. And on both sides, you have, please take time to enjoy yourself. Please take time to rest. Please take time to take a break. That kind of thing. So the Nine of Coins is also the self-made woman, self-made person. So in other words, you have been good at developing your sources of security. So sometimes that's, like I said, health, wealth, relationships, connections, routines, the things that provide your life security. You've been good at developing them. And that's important too. So the things that keep you kind of busy are things you've wanted, things that have resulted from your great successes, really. Yes. Okay. In the future, we have the Three of Cups. Oh, good. Celebration. So that means that there will be much to celebrate. I think the time and the effort you've invested is paying off. That's what I'm seeing here. It really is beginning to pay off. Yeah, and the Three of Cups is a lovely card because it also implies friendship. Cups are enjoyment. So that's wonderful. You have a good reading. I don't see negatives here. I see cautions to take care of yourself. And please don't think that means that you're going to get sick, because look at in the future. That's not what this reading is saying. It's just saying, please be mindful of that, and be mindful to sometimes take a pause and reflect upon how far you've come, and the fact that what you have, a lot of it is what you've wished for, you know, and you have had your wish many times. But it's, you know, that you're given credit for your own efforts there. I'm asking Spirit for one more clarifier for the year for you. Oh, Queen of Swords. Okay. This is just a little bit of extra information. I think this means that you are encouraged to use your good intellect. You've got mature intellect. You've got an ability to make good decisions, make a good plan. Planning may be very important this year. Planning how you're going to run your schedule and your routine to take good care of yourself, to make time for enjoyment as well as work, to reflect upon the positives in life. But yet, this planning is very good. This is maturity in this ability, right? So you are encouraged then to sit down and make up a realistic plan. And don't get too hung up on the time frame of it, you know. Things take the time they take, but you are encouraged to use your planning because it is a strength of yours. Also, the Queen of Swords, she can hear. She can sometimes hear from the other side. She can get an insight, a revelation, an epiphany. I think you're encouraged to be very confident in your abilities and your smarts, frankly. And don't be afraid to say it and to be assertive and to say, I know what will work. Sometimes I have to say no to some things to make that happen. But believe me, you're going to be glad I said no to certain things, because it looks like it all turns out really well. And you're going to make plans that do pay off, that do flourish, that are smart. So there we go. This is a great reading. All right. Wonderful. And for those of you who chose the agate, and this is a little clear and browns in that agate, we have, okay, in the heart of the matter, we have the Ace of Wands. Opportunity is given. The Spirit is handing you an opportunity. The challenge is the Four of Wands. Oh, okay. I'm going to lay them all and see what it says. Okay. Below it all is, that's usually in their subconscious, sort of like beneath it all or supporting it all, is the Eight of Coins. In the past is the Five of Swords. Above it all is the Queen of Wands. And in the future is the Seven of Swords. All right. So what I see here, this is so interesting. You're definitely given an opportunity that you haven't picked up yet. So aces are spiritual. You know, they're always trying to help us from the other side. So it's an opportunity given. It could show up as it's simply an opportunity falls out of the sky, but it could also be a want to. It could be all of a sudden you really want to develop this or learn that or go here, or, you know, a goal presents itself and it draws you more and more, because wands are passion. Wands are energy. They're enthusiasm. They're fire. So the wands, you will know by what draws you. Really, really, you will. The challenge is the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands is a beautiful card. It's suggesting happiness in your home life. It may be a lovely event in your family. It may be improved environment in your home. Simply the climate there, the emotional climate there, the relational climate there, or It could be you physically improve your home or you move. So that's the challenge. There's something planned perhaps for this year. An opportunity may require a change in residence, or you have the opportunity to improve your home life, physically, relationally, what have you. That's beautiful. Because the Four of Wands really does, it does hold the promise of some beautiful times there. With the Queen of Wands above it all, you can do it. You certainly have the maturity. You're good at picking up a goal and completing it, seeing it through, keeping focus on it. My sense is the goal might not be something as simple as something you could complete right away. It may be an ongoing priority for you, but you just make great progress on it in 2020. And this does have to do with your home life, your domestic life. You make great progress. You have the maturity to pull it off. The Queen of Wands gets enthusiastic about her goals. She gets very purposeful. Very purposeful. And the Eight of Coins underneath it all suggests that you are very productive. You're working, and you may be learning something new here too. That may have something to do with the opportunity that's coming in. You're learning something new. This is the Apprentice. He is getting a lot done, but he is just fine with it. He seems interested in his work. Sometimes a wand can show up as that, where you're very interested in your work and you're very motivated to get a lot done. So that energy is underneath it all. You'll be quite productive in increasing your sources of security, and that's always health or wealth or other sources of security. In the past is this Five of Swords. So now that can be a victory in which you took the victory, and sometimes we just have to, even though others maybe weren't so happy about it, even though maybe it meant cutting something away. I see you must be in a time of transition in an area of your life, because it's moving right along. It's just moving right along. This can also be, once in a while, it can represent winning at all costs. So that can be somebody in your environment. It can be you. It seems to me, whatever happened there, you're moving in a very positive direction. So maybe it was just something that needed to happen. But then we have this Seven of Swords here. So that's a hidden agenda. Now, I feel like, you know what I feel like? I feel like that's about your independence. It's just, this is such a strong card here. And you're making such headway in 2020. And you're doing it to improve things for you and your family, or the group of people you call your family, or to improve your home life. But you may be wanting to, I just feel such an independence. Keep that to yourself. You may be wanting to make a plan or a goal. This is really goal. It doesn't have to be a 10-step plan. This is a goal. You may be having a goal that you're not telling everybody. You know it will be the right thing for you and for those you love. And so you're going ahead. And that's all right. You're shrewd. You're being shrewd. Yeah? For a few of you, this could be somebody else having a hidden agenda or something like that. But the Page of Swords, as a clarifier, that means that, it's perhaps a young person in your environment who is learning, and they're going to tell on themselves anyway with that page. and that's all right. You know, it can be, if it is somebody who is doing something sort of sneakily, the Seven of Swords along with the Page of Swords suggest to me it'll come out soon. You are well able to handle it. You do well this year, you know? You're well able to manage that. But I think my initial impression of that Seven of Swords is probably correct. Like, you have a purpose, you have a goal. You're not telling everybody about it. And the Page of Swords could be the beginning of a plan. So it's not only a goal, like I want to do this, but then you actually even start it. You start to plan it with that Page of Swords, which hopefully turns into the Knight and then the King or Queen. Matures, the plan matures. So I like the energy in this reading. I like the energy. I feel like I see a time of transition in an area of your life, but you are well able to do it. And it then has a positive effect on the tenor in your home life. So that is good. And Spirit's helping you out by giving you an opportunity or drawing you in a goal. So that's really, it's going to be a good year. For those of you who chose the Dalmation stone, we have, in the heart of the matter, we've got the Six of Cups. And the challenge card is the Queen of Cups. Beneath it all is the Star card for hopefulness. Wonderful. In the past is the High Priestess is behind you, supporting you. Above it all is the Four of Cups. In the immediate future, in the future is the Ten of Coins. All right, so what does this mean? The Six of Cups a lot of times is about nostalgia. It's about looking back. It can be about kids, though. It can be about tender moments between children. The Six is stable. It's contented usually. It's a nice card. It's a nice card usually. And especially when it's got these kinds of cards around it, it's a nice card. So the Six of Cups is about, yeah, gosh, you just take such good care. The Queen of Cups is a nurturer. She is calm. She has good self-control. She's mature. She's emotionally insightful. She understands others' emotions. You may be taking good care of some children this year. You may be drawing contentment from that this year. You may be drawing contentment from relationships that have gone back a long ways. You may be the one who brings peace and harmony into that life, that home life, into those relationships with children or those relationships that have gone back a long way. You might be the one that is really stabilizing them and bringing in more nurture and understanding. So those are very contented, lovely cards in the middle. You're capable of doing it, so I don't see any indication that you're going to be terribly stressed or taking responsibility for way too much or anything like that here. I just see you being very capable. And it's soothing people and increasing the positive emotion. And underneath it all, it's your hopefulness. I feel like this is a year where you feel very hopeful. And people can tell. You know, you impart that to others. Others see that and they believe it. They say, you know what? If she feels like it's going to be okay, or if he feels, remember, gender's interchangeable here. If he feels it's going to be all right, he seems awful sure, I believe it will too. You just bring that kind of calm, and it comes out of a place of hopefulness. And this is a very spiritual card, and it's in your subconscious. So really, Spirit may be helping you sustain that hope. And whenever this comes up, I always feel like it's Spirit saying, you have every reason to be hopeful. Good things are coming. Please expect good things. In the back, you have the High Priestess in the past, and that's sort of behind, the push behind. So your spirituality, well, the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess, man, they both have such a good understanding of complex, emotionally multi-layered kinds of situations. They just know. Sometimes you can't even put it into words, but you may just know what's going on. And since we're having in the heart of the matter this Six of Cups, I think it's about you just know what's going on with relationships, with people you've known a long time, with, you know, perhaps your own nostalgia, your own looking back on your own history. You just know. And that is a driving force for you. Look at these powerful major arcana supporting you. And above it all is the Four of Cups. So there is something, though, that you're not really receiving. And it's a cup. Cups, a lot of times, yes, they're emotions, they're messages, they're sources of emotional fulfillment a lot of times. I am wondering if I feel like you may have a hard time accepting the good feelings sometimes. I feel like there's a breakthrough coming for you, or it's already begun, where you're leaving a tougher time behind. And you're coming into new contentment. It's like it's something developing. And maybe it's hard for you to receive all of the care and love and nurture that is available to you, that Spirit would have you receive. I think you're encouraged to bask in it, to visualize it, however you'd like to visualize it, and spend time in that. And believe that with this Hope card, that you deserve to feel good. You know, it's like that you deserve to have what's emotionally fulfilling for you. In the near future, we have the Ten of Coins. That's all about stability. Coins are already sources of security. Health or wealth or family relationships, other relationships, routines, things you've built up. But the 10 is really about security. So I think things are going to be, I think this is here because Spirit's saying to you, do not worry about the future. It's also the generations card. So there could be something with the generations of your family, a time that increases stability there, that increases sense of security there. So that's awfully nice too. Let me look at the clarifier. Oh, the Emperor. So I just put in an extra card for extra information about your year, and we get the Emperor. And the Emperor is all about this take charge kind of attitude. You know, it's so interesting. The Queen of Cups, she is soothing. She is a little bit yielding. She's flexible. The Emperor, not so much. Not so much. So I'm wondering if this take charge energy comes in for you as well. I mean, the Queen of Cups, she takes charge, but in a quiet strength sort of way. The Emperor, he's not so quiet. He's sometimes about rules, sometimes about laws, sometimes about, he's the protective father of the tarot. So he is interested in making sure people do what's best for them and best for others, you know? This take charge energy comes in here, obviously. And maybe you're more used to the Queen of Cups. But there's some lovely take charge energy coming in. Because you're also, with that Queen of Cups, you know a lot. You have a lot of wisdom. You know what's right and you know what's wrong. You know, maybe it's a year where you just find yourself much more active in creating the kind of joyful life with that, well, if not joyful, maybe joyful, I hope joyful, but at least at the very least, more emotionally fulfilling and pleasant, you know? Maybe this is a year where you take charge of that. You say, hey, I know what needs to be done. And you take charge of it and you make some decisions to receive more good feelings, more emotional fulfillment, because you know you're secure. A new energy may be coming in. That's good though. That's good. And there comes a point at which, you know, if you get this card of maturity here and the strong intuition here, you know, you do know. You do know what's what. And you are a good person to be making decisions. So sometimes it's just owning that. All right, for those of you who chose the blue, the lapis lazuli, we have, in the heart of the matter, we've got the Knight of Wands, and the challenge is the Sun. Woo. Underneath it all is the Queen of Coins. In the past is the Temperance Angel. Above is the King of Swords. And in the future is the Seven of Cups. Oh, all nice cards. All nice cards. Lots of energies here, though. Lots of different energies here. Okay. This might be about, I feel like your reading has other people in it as well as you. Okay. So in the heart of the matter is the Knight of Wands. And that can be somebody who is not old, you know, not terribly young, but sort of youngish. So the Knight of Wands can be somebody who has energy and purpose and just moving right ahead. But they may not have all of the maturity yet, but then again, we may be talking about somebody who's sort of youngish, so they shouldn't, you know. But they're really purposeful and they're moving ahead and they're moving in the right direction. The Sun is the challenge. Because the Knight of Wands is a little bit, you know, he's a little over-focused sometimes. Like, I have to use all my energy and all my time to get this done. This is my main priority. This is what I'm doing. The Sun comes along and says, oh, but don't you want to be carefree like this little child on the horse's back, riding in the sunshine, in the sunflowers? Don't you want to be carefree? So I think the challenge card is for you to do that, for you to lay down that wand sometimes and enjoy your life. See, the Knight of Wands pours so much effort into his or her purpose that maybe in later years, that person will look back and say, you know, I wish I would have stopped to smell the roses a little bit more. So maybe these cards, maybe Spirit is saying, hey, guess what? You do have time to smell the roses. Stop and enjoy life too. You won't lose your purpose. You're going to take that to maturity. Underneath it all is the Queen of Coins. And she is all about security. She is the Earth Mother. Financial security, security of health, well-being, security of relationships, just security from various sources. So that's wonderful energy to have underneath you in your subconscious. It may be your energy. You like security. You like to build security. And maybe somebody else who's supportive of you. But really, if this is in your subconscious, there's a lot of your energy here with this Queen of Coins. You're good at it. I think you're good at focusing on increasing your security, and that might be one of your primary goals right now. This is sort of a reassurance that it's there. You've built quite a lot already. You're capable of building a lot. Really, it's about that. You're capable of building a lot of security. You're capable of increasing your health, wealth, stability through other sources like relationships, routines, you know, connections. Stability. You're capable of that. In the past, we have the Temperance Angel. So that's about something very gradually happening. That is a major arcana. You do get angelic support, I believe, a lot of times when that comes up. To behave temperately and wisely and Things are happening gradually in the way that they're supposed to. That's what the Temperance angel is saying. So I feel like this with this urgency of the Knight of Wands. And for some of you, this is you, it represents you. For some, it represents a goal that's midway to completion. Don't look back and think things should have gone more quickly, or I should have gotten more done, or I should be further along. Please don't do that, because the Temperance angel says, no, things unfolded in exactly the right pace, at exactly the right pace, in the right way. I guided you. I helped you be wise. It was good. And also, this is the behind you. So the Temperance angel is still behind you. You know what I mean? For support. The King of Swords above. So you've got all this maturity here. The King of Swords above. So that's what's on your mind. And swords are intellect. They're smarts. They're planning. There's sometimes speech, sometimes decisions, sometimes epiphanies, hearing from the other side, revelations, that kind of thing. So the King of Swords suggests you have a good handle on things. Probably a good plan, a good well thought out plan. I sense in this reading such a strong desire to stay on plan. And if you have to say no to certain things, okay. And if you have to be very assertive, okay. And with the Knight of Wands, it's this pull to get to your goal. But you know, I keep coming back to this Sun card that keeps on telling you, yes, yes, yes. You're doing a fine job also with this Queen of Coins underneath. You've been doing a fine job. Please know that you can still do that and take time to enjoy your life. I keep getting that. But it's certainly a year of great progress. It's a year of good progress. But sometimes we progress, we put so much energy into progressing in our goal that we forget why we're doing it. And aren't we usually doing it to increase our joy? You know, the Sun card is about joy. Sometimes we forget to practice joy. We forget to make room for joy as we're pursuing a goal that's supposed to eventually lead to joy. And that makes actually no sense, but we do it all the time. So I think this reading is about practicing enjoying your life too. You have the maturity to get there. You'll get there, whatever it is you're working on. But enjoy your life as well. Now, the Seven of Cups in the future, that's about choices. And you're always encouraged to be hopeful, even though you love security. Be hopeful. Don't worry. Don't worry. Think about positive things happening. This is sometimes encouraging us to daydream along with this enjoying your life theme. There is nothing wrong with envisioning beautiful things happening. How can they happen until we envision them? I see you're very goal-oriented this year. Don't forget to take time to shape those goals by developing a vision